Today, we want to cover some aspects of how flight levels thinking on the strategy level, on flight level 3, can be applied in the Atlassian stack. But before we start, we should know one of the core concepts of flight level 3 thinking, which is called SOFI. And what we do on flight level 3 is to connect the stories, the underlying why we do things, outcomes, so our goals and the measures, how we see that we're coming closer to our goals, and the how, the flight items, our bets to start and do work to come closer to our goals. And these are always connected. And let's see how that could look like for a company that creates, develops, and sells drones. So this is their strategy board. And let's see how these different aspects are applied. So coming back to stories, this is essentially our underlying guiding principles and our product portfolio and who we are and what we want to change in the world. So this is number one, the stories. Then we have our outcomes, in this case, focused on 3 different time horizons: long term, 1 year, and 3 months. And there's one more topic here that helps us to look to the competition, to the market, to other market segments, a little bit into the future, things that we want to see and observe and better understand over time, in terms of threats, in terms of ideas, in terms of opportunities, and so on and so forth. And then, as mentioned, there are our flight items, really the things that we started as our coarse-grained activities as initiatives. So some of them are still on ground, some of them are in flight. And before we ship them, we do a demo with customers on them. Let's zoom a little bit in and go to the big focus areas that we have in this company. So this is essentially the long-term focus areas that we want to focus on. And let's see, there's one here. We want to create a drone that is able to carry 100 kilograms. So we are drilling into the sub-focus area on 1 year, and we're drilling into the goals that we see. So obviously one is already completed, the other is on track. Hopefully no reason to drill in here, but this one is at risk, and we might take a look about what happens here. So obviously we have 4 key results defined here. Let's go to the overview. So performance and testing obviously already happened and is more or less completed and is on track. But the paperwork is a bit at risk. And on a portfolio or program manager level, this is what might be interesting to bring it onto a strategic level in order to make decisions, find a way to mitigate this. And this is what we're looking into today, into a quarterly strategic meeting where the people who are on the coordination level, on the program and portfolio level, meet the ones who focus on the strategic work. And we will see how this works. So as I said, we already identified the risk here to have the certification timeline at risk. And we go back to our strategic area and go to risks. And what this is a company view on the risks that we are seeing, that we have accepted to work with or work against it. And this is a new one here. It's in draft mode. That brings up the risk that we just talked about. And this is to make it at least visible, and then maybe in the next step to have an idea how to work on that risk. So for now, we would say we accepted that. So everyone concluded that this is a risk indeed. So we should do something about it. And on the overview level, we have it now in our metrics here that helps us to navigate through the risks that are existing. Okay, let's go to another focus area here. We want to take a look at this area where we're trying to establish dominance in the Asia Pacific market with some of our drones. And we have some revenue goals here, and let's see where we stand here. So on the goal level, the area here are basically available, should be okay. What we also did is to raise brand awareness with a social media campaign or multiple campaigns on multiple platforms. But what it is at risk is to convert it into sales. So let's take a look into this goal here and the related metrics, the related key results. And it's only one. So we had the goal to already have, let's see, 100 orders or pre-orders, and we are at 40 something, which is not sufficient. So this is what we should look at. So obviously there is a gap between brand awareness that is on the right track and conversion to sales that we want to work on. Okay. So this is the area of focus areas, risks, and the goals and the metrics behind it. But let's take a look at the flight item level. So this is our, you could call it company board. So this is where we track our big initiatives and how they go forward. So the board itself is quite simple, not yet started, on ground, in flight, demo, and done. 4 strategic topics. And yes, we also have some other topics that we want to look at on a strategic level, but let's skip them for now. We already mentioned our Asia Pacific initiative. Here it is. And the interesting thing here is not necessarily that this is a fine-grained value flow in terms of the board, but the initiative itself holds all the underlying work. It holds where it's coming from, and it holds the connection to the goal. So it's a kind of a navigation point between everything that happens for this initiative. And let's take a short look here. So this is how the program managers look at it. So this is the solution they propose to go into the market. And essentially, initially, they saw an opportunity to go into that market. So this is the genesis of why we're starting to work on this topic. And another one is this one, for instance, where we see that we want to work on the propellers for the Max Air drone here. It's also an initiative that has an idea as a source, so to say, and it's connected to the goals that then connect to our focus areas. What might be also interesting is that that this Max Air, that is in Atlassian terms a team, is essentially more than a team. In flight levels terms, that's a whole work system. So as you see, multiple software teams, propeller team, assembler team, and a body team are working together in that work system. So it's essentially a team of teams. So that's it for the flight item part. Let's go back to our strategic event. And we go to something called asks. That is essentially an agile interaction within the strategic review, where the Max Air team of teams that we just saw on the board is asking the propeller platform team to really support them to get their strategic bet further. So they are kind of waiting or stuck, and asking the propeller team to come up with a proposal how to do it. And what they say, maybe we can't do it until July, but maybe what we can agree on, we can do it until August. And then just the work on the Max Air part can continue. So that's essentially a conversation between two program managers or two product managers. But it's not about dealing with dependency. That's something that's not necessarily needed on the strategic level. But here we're doing trade-offs. And make decisions on a strategic level, what to do first and what to do, not to do now and do next. So we accept this and have the ask accepted for now. So the decision is made. The decision is, we have a trace log of the decision. We can add comments and things like this. What else? Let's go back to our strategic event, because there's more we need to negotiate. We also want to negotiate about how to deal with this conversion in Asia Pacific for the sports segment. And for that, the program manager did a fund request here. So the proposal is to add 75K to the conversion into sales instead of adding more money to the social media campaign. And this is also a negotiation. It's not only an information to the strategic level, but also, is it the right decision? The others are informed and things like this. And at the end, we can say, yes, this is approved. And as you see, we could continue that for the other requests that are also, for instance, this one is a request from Max Air that are asking for one position. So instead of always asking the propeller platform guys to help them out, the proposal here is, hey, if we would have really a head of customer success, that would help us. And we approve it here. And as you see, as the meeting continues, we see how much money is spent and how much positions are either changed or added and approved. And now let's go to the focus area of the sports segment again. And what we see is that the shifted funds, the 75K, are already reflected. So this is really a live dashboard of all the financials and where the money goes and where the money comes from, hopefully in the future. So this is really a navigation instrument for everyone to see where we stand in terms of financials. And with that, let's zoom out again into how this all is connected, because what we saw so far is the customer perspective or the user perspective. But what's underlying here is what we saw: multiple products in the Atlassian stack and also a connection between all these all these items. So we mentioned the product manager and technology view, ideas, threats, opportunities, and solution proposals. We saw this whole outcome area with focus areas living in Atlassian Focus, and with goals and key results living in Atlassian Goals. And the last area is the one where we observe our flight items. And these are implemented in Jira because this is where the connection to work is being made. And that's it for today. If you're interested in how to connect your strategy to operations and to coordinations, if you are interested in the concepts behind it to really make use of the tool, please approach us. We're happy to support you with your integration of strategy practices into the Atlassian stack.